Hello, it's Dave here from davemenzies.com. I was asked a question earlier on a forum called Quora, and the question was, how can I make good quality videos with just a smartphone and a laptop? So I thought I would actually shoot a little video just about a comparison between the two, between what I use and what you can and can't do on a smartphone, and ways that you can actually improve the results that you get if you just use a smartphone. So let's just have a look at that now. I'm actually filming this on a Canon DSLR EOS 7D. That's what I generally do my filming in. I'm also using a tie-clip microphone, really inexpensive Boya tie-clip microphone, which I record the audio separately into a Tascam DR60 Mark II, which is a kind of professional quality audio recorder, a field recorder. That's actually being powered by the laptop, as is the camera. There's a cable going from the camera into the laptop, which enables me to actually control the camera and its settings and use the laptop as a monitor. I'll just show you there. You can possibly see I'm using that as a monitor, which you can also do with smartphones, and I'll tell you why shortly. So that's the setup I use. Tie-clip goes into this. I record the audio onto the camera at the same time, and then in the editing program that I use, which is ScreenFlow, I can match the two up and remove the audio from the camera and just use the audio that I've recorded from this. And I do that just by clapping my hands before I start talking, and then I can see that as a spike in the sound line. If you're interested in this stuff, subscribe, by the way. I've got a lot of tutorials on using ScreenFlow and video editing and the kind of setup that I use, how to get really good results doing that. Okay, by comparison, I've got my smartphone set up. We'll go to that now. And that is just my iPhone 6S, not even a very modern smartphone. But just to give you a comparison, that's it in the same natural light just from the window. I haven't used any extra lighting. And this is the smartphone with no microphone, so I'm just using the sound that's recorded in the room by the phone right now, just to give you a comparison. Okay, we'll take the camera, the phone outside with a selfie stick, and I'll just talk about lighting and audio and stuff outside, just to give you some tips on that, how to improve the results on that. Okay, so back to the camera and the tie-clip microphone. So, with a smartphone, or indeed a camera of any kind, one of the best things that you can invest in is a tripod. Both of these are set up on kind of professional tripods at the moment. I've got two of those, which I use as often as possible. But I've also got some little really inexpensive tripods that I can use for the phone indoors, which are actually really good and just give you a bit of extra stability. And leave your hands free, obviously. I use mine a lot, as you can probably tell. But these are really inexpensive little things. There's this one, you can possibly see, you've probably seen these. It's just a little flexible tabletop tripod stand. It's actually really good, and it came with a little clamp, which I'm actually using on the phone at the moment, for just a few pounds from Amazon. And it's actually really good. It can instantly give you an improvement on stability. Failing that, I've also got this little guy, which I think is like from the 70s or something. I bought this on a jumbo sale a couple of years ago for £1, and it's an excellent little tripod. It's actually got an adjustable head, so you can angle things around, tighten it off. It's got quite long legs that extend to about the length of a normal tripod, but they are quite flimsy. So even if you're outdoors on a windy day, you're going to get a bit of camera shake on that. So always bear in mind the environment. If you're outdoors and it is windy, or you're in a kind of unstable situation, then a heavier duty tripod's a good idea. As far as the audio recording is concerned, like I say, I've got this little cheap tie-clip microphone. Some phones, not mine, but possibly yours, will actually take that input directly from the mic into the phone, and that will give you an instant improvement because your microphone is just here. It's not sensitive enough to pick up a huge amount of background noise, which is one of the disadvantages of just using a phone microphone. You might have to, if you've got a phone that accepts that, you might have to download an app. You'll just have to check out your individual phone. I can't really talk about every phone that there is. Some do, some don't. If they don't, and you want better audio, then you can actually use one of these fairly inexpensive little dictaphone digital recorders, which I've got. This is a little Sony thing that I picked up from Amazon again, I think about £30, and it's got a microphone built into it, so you can kind of use that, put it in a pocket, or I've even seen people taping it to the inside of a baseball cap, something like that. It's going to give you slightly better sound, but this also has an input for the microphone. So again, I can use my tie clip with this little recorder. Quite inexpensive, but again, makes quite a big difference in sound quality. If you want to, if you're serious about building a YouTube channel, serious about video, then it is worth maybe investing a little bit more on something like this, which is the Tascam DR60 Mark II. Think about £260, but it's incredibly great quality. It'll take all sorts of microphones. It's got limiters built into it. You can adjust the levels. Fantastic device. It uses batteries, but it goes through them like nothing on earth. So if you're indoors, I've got this actually wired up, taking power from the laptop. I've also got, I don't have it here, but I've got one of those power pack batteries as well. If I'm going outdoors, I take that with me because, like I say, this goes through batteries like you wouldn't believe. So those are a few tips, indoor or out, for using a smartphone or a camera. But let's concentrate on the smartphone again, just briefly. So smartphones are amazing. The cameras on them are getting better and better. What I would recommend, if at all possible, is that you use the back camera of the smartphone. Generally speaking, it's a higher resolution than the front camera. I know that's definitely the case on mine. The front camera, which you would normally use for selfies and that sort of thing, if you're using that for video, it tends to be about 720p, which is not too bad. You know, that's the resolution. That's okay for YouTube. But the back camera is a 1080p, so full HD. So that's what I try to use. The disadvantage being, obviously, that you can't see what the camera is seeing. So you need to spend a little bit of time kind of setting that up, first of all, and framing it. Again, I'll pop a little link in the description underneath here for a really good little program you can get. Again, very inexpensive, I think about £15–20 thereabouts. It's a program called Reflector 2, and that actually turns your, works on Wi-Fi, and it actually mirrors the screen of your phone onto your laptop again, so you can use that as a monitor and see exactly what the phone is seeing, the phone camera is seeing. Even outdoors, you can use your mobile as a Wi-Fi. You know, you can use your mobile allowance or whatever to set up a Wi-Fi hotspot and use that externally away from your indoor Wi-Fi network. So really good, really worth investing in. But let's, again, if you've only got a smartphone, and hopefully, you know, you can get the budget together for a tripod or even like a selfie stick like this, let's go outside just now with just a smartphone and talk about the kind of things to look out for if that's what you're going to be shooting video on. Okay, so let's go outside now. So here we are, out in the back garden, and a few things to watch out for when you're outside. Fairly quiet day today, so I don't have wind noise to worry about that much. That can be a big problem with smartphones because that little microphone is just out there completely exposed to the wind, so even a small amount of wind, you get that kind of, which sort of sound I'm sure you're familiar with. Not really good if you're trying to get a message across on a video. The other thing to think about is light. Now, cameras, even really sophisticated DSLRs and expensive cameras, are nothing like the human eye. They just haven't reached that level of sophistication yet. So although you may think that's a great scene to have in the background, the light could be your enemy. So if I just turn this round, got a really nice view from here of the sea behind there. But the problem is the sun is right there. I don't know if you can see, not too bad today because it's cloudy, but if you've got bright light or bright sunshine behind you, it can actually just completely wipe you, the subject in front of the camera, out. You know, it will just completely bleach out. Like I say, not too bad today, but if I do this, for example, you'll kind of see what I mean. So you might think that's a beautiful background to film against, but the camera just isn't going to actually be able to see that. So that's something to watch out for. You can hear these seagulls in the background, so you can hear again. That may or may not be a disadvantage, but if there's a lot of noise, then that's one of the disadvantages if you aren't recording with a separate microphone. So that's it, but you can still get, you know, some pretty good results if you're careful and you frame it. Again, tripod would be useful out here. I have recorded videos out here, they're out in the car with my setup, but I've also just used the phone in the car as well. but like I say, you really need to be careful about the sound levels. Okay, so let's go back indoors. Okay, so we're back inside, and just when we're on the subject of lighting, you can see how the lighting has changed here, because I'm actually in front of, well, over here is the front window of the room I'm filming in, and the light has changed quite a lot. The sun's come out from behind clouds and we're getting a bit of a glare, as you can see. Now, it might be worthwhile investing, whether you're just using the smartphone or whether you have a camera, in a couple of inexpensive studio lamps as well. Again, Amazon's a great place to find things like that. I've got a couple set up in my little studio room through there. We also have a green screen set up. And I could have, this is quite useful for this video, but if I didn't want that kind of effect, I could actually just close over the curtains, shut the blinds, bring those lamps in and have a very constant lighting throughout the whole video. More suitable for some videos, but it actually helps to kind of highlight some of the points I've made here. So that's that. These are all kind of technical tips, so I hope I've shown that, yeah, if you're careful and maybe add a couple of little useful things to the mix, then a smartphone is perfect for doing YouTube videos. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs, internet entrepreneurs I know of, my own mentor Stuart Ross being a great example, use smartphones all the time. They're big fans of just grabbing a phone when they have an idea and shooting a video, usually in a really nice location, but they're bearing in mind things like the lighting and the sound in particular. Bear those two in mind, then you can get absolutely great results. But the other thing to bear in mind before you shoot a video, no matter what the equipment is, you have to, sorry, a little message coming on the computer here, you have to be providing value to your target audience. So you have to know what your target audience actually is. If you're creating a YouTube channel about self-improvement, personal development, then those are the people you need to kind of appeal to. Your video needs to provide information, and there are a number of ways that you can do that, worth bearing in mind. So I'll give you a few things to bear in mind before you even shoot a video. You can educate and inform. Some tips on using a smartphone to make video, for example. You can entertain, and you can inspire. I went from being redundant to becoming a successful internet entrepreneur, living in my own terms, earning my living from a laptop anywhere I want to go in the world. If you'd like to know how to do that, watch this video. Those types of things. So bear that in mind. You're actually looking to create value, and to some extent the quality of your videos is not that important. As long as your message comes across, people can see and hear well. Those are really the keys to remember. So I hope that's been useful to you. Like I say, if so, and you want to see more of my videos, subscribe underneath and feel free to leave comments. I'll pop some links, like I say, underneath the description to some of the resources I've mentioned. You can go and check out for yourself. And above all else, just get out there and create content, make it as good as you possibly can. Okay, thanks for watching. Dave here, davemenzies.com. Bye for now.